And time for more Shadowrun Dragonfall. We got some information from Blitz at the end of last video. Now let's see. Dante. Look down to see a pair of bright eyes set into a scruffy face looking back up at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. On some instinctive level, he must know that his master is gone. It says the same thing. I'm not gonna tell him to play dead. What the fuck, game? Just pet him. Woof. Good job. Let's talk to Paul. Amsel's expression is harder than you've seen it before. When he speaks, his voice is grim. Iger has told me of Green Winter's death. She said that he died in the same manner that Monica did. It wasn't a pretty sight. Amsel nods gravely. I know that you and Iger have had your differences. I will tell you that she was badly shaken by the sight of Winter's body. She also mentioned that you found something in Winter's safe. A package of very old discs. May I see them? Of course. Good God. Gingerly, Amsel lifts a disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing a rainbow pattern to shimmer across its surface. I haven't seen one of these since I was a boy. This is a DVD-RW, a data storage medium from the mid-2000s. I'm amazed that Winters was able to find a device that could play it. Do you know how we can read these things? Puts down the DVD in his hands and quickly inspects the others. The first disc that I looked at might be readable. The others are damaged, some severely so. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There's a little shop outside, the Data Haven. Aha! The same reaction with Betamax. Oh, Jesus. Talk to the proprietor, Malit Holiai. Holiai? I don't know. She might be able to help. Tell her to put the cost of the device on my account. I'm on it. Dietrich. Hey, boss. Dietrich gives you a slight nod. What can I do for you? How are you holding up? You seem to take Monica's death harder than the others did. Dietrich shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. Nah, no harder. But I'm less buttoned up than the others are. Iger never let herself show any weakness. And Glory, well, she's too full of chrome to feel much of anything. He shrugs. Me? I don't give a damn. I've spent too much of my life putting on a show for others already. What do you mean by that? I used to front a punk band way back when. Believe it or not, I've spent a pretty good chunk of my life on stage. Whenever we weren't playing, I was living up to our fans' expectations, spouting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. Wait a second, you can sing? No. How'd you go from fronting a band to running the Shadows? Wasn't as big a leap as you'd think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. One nice thing about shamanism, as long as you keep your idol happy, doesn't matter what else you do. The Dragon Slayer chose me to be his servant. As long as I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't much care whether I did it on stage or in the shadows. What was your band called? Maybe I've heard of it. I doubt it, boss. We never really got any airplay. Since when did airplay have anything to do with good music? Fucking right. Fair point, boss. Alright, I'll tell you. The band was called Messerkampf, spelled just like it sounds in big capital letters with an exclamation point. We weren't a big act or anything. We sold a few records here and there, toured around Europe. Same story you'll hear from a bunch of other washed up old relics, I'm sure. We had a decent following in England, and we holed up in London from 31 to 36. Spent most of our time slumming it around the East End. picked up enough Cockney to irritate the folks back home. Truth be told, that whole chapter of my life is a bit of a blur. We didn't do it for the fans or the fame. We sure as hell didn't care about money. All that mattered to us was staying young and drunk and angry. We managed the second two. Good God, where is the time gone? Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I washed my hands of all this years ago. So let's change the subject if you don't mind. Alright, tell me about the Dragon Slayer. He shrugs. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was just a kid. I could always feel him in my heart, goading me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. Of course, my family didn't understand, but the hell with them, I thought. I knew that I was destined for greater things. So I listened to him, and I cracked the skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this and was pleased, and rewarded me with magic. I used that magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. It's a simple life, but a good one. Any thoughts about that last run you'd like to share? Well, we found winners. That's something, I guess. The whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss, but at least we have a direction to look in. Now, wait a second. You can sing? He regards you with a critical eye. I was the front man for a punk band, boss. Fuck no, I can't sing. Nice. He grins, but I wasn't half bad at riling up a crowd. So long, Dietrich. He nods at you. Take it easy, boss. Alright, yep, I like Dietrich. He's a good man. Iger. No, talk to Iger. Iger turns to face you. There's a pained look on her face. Look, I owe you an apology. Oh, well, no, I'm listening. When Monica died, I was pissed. Probably doesn't come as a huge surprise, but I took that anger out on you, and I shouldn't have. Seeing Winter's body like that was enough to convince me you couldn't have done anything to help Monica, and I couldn't have either. We're dealing with something new. Monica was a good friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away, and I said some things that I shouldn't have. I want to apologize for that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There are a few things that I want to say. Stops and turns back to face you. You can see the wariness behind her eyes. Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. Well, she's a soldier. She's not going to respect a whole lot of touchy-feely. I accept your apology. But if you ever insult me in front of the team again, you're going to regret it. That's a promise. She nods appreciatively. Some backbone. That's good to see. Don't worry, Victos. I won't question your competence again. Not in front of the others, at least. But I won't lie. I still have concerns about you. Alright, what kind of concerns? Basic ones. I don't want to see history repeat itself. What history are you talking about? I'd rather not go into it, fearless leader. Let's just say that I've had bad luck with underexperienced teammates and leave it at that. She turns away. You should go, fearless leader. I've got prep work to do for our next run. You've got more important things to do than watch me pack my gear. Alright, so, well, I think we've calmed the waters there, at least. I think we were enough of a dick to get some respect without fucking things over. Glory's expression remains distant, but her lips curl upward into a hint of a smile. Victos, need something? You can't have started running the shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? No. No. Everything's still okay with you? You never need to worry about me, Victos. I'm fine. Alright. Well, vintage chrome. That's not a story I'm interested in telling out of context. If you really want to go into it, we're going to need to go back. Way back. She stares at you with her cold, dead eyes. I'm not sure that you want to do that. You know what? Let's nip this. You say that you'll give me answers when we talk about your past. So let's talk about it. Why do you care? There's no hostility in her voice. If anything, she sounds suspicious. Okay, I can see that you have to appeal to personalities somewhat here in certain conversations. So, thinking Glory, not a whole lot of emotion, not a whole lot of sentimentality. Yeah, I don't care, not particularly, but I am curious. She pauses for a moment, considering. Then she nods. Alright, fine. We can talk. But we're doing it on my terms. This is a long story, Victos. Long and ugly and cruel. Are you sure that you want to hear this? Quit stalling and start talking. Alright, I'm going to start at the beginning. Not for you, for me. I guess that it might help me to say all of this out loud. Okay, before we start that... Alright. She takes a deep breath and slowly releases it. When she speaks, her voice comes out in a cool monotone. My family lived in Stuttgart. It was a nice enough place, I suppose. My parents worked as wage slaves for IFMU. My mom was a good person. Once upon a time, my father was a decent person as well. That's what Mom always told me, but I never knew him that way. She pauses for a long moment. When she begins speaking again, some of the ice has fallen away from her voice. For the first time since you met her, Gloria sounds alive. The dad that I knew was an old, damaged Euro war vet who turned to hardline religion to make sense of the world. In Stuttgart, that meant either the Ritter Christi or their fascist cousins, the Kreuzritters. My father chose the latter path. I still remember hiding in my room when my father had his Kreuzritter brothers over for prayer group. They would drink and get rowdy, then spend an hour or two riling themselves up with talk about heretics and the devil's work. Then they'd go find some poor elf or dwarf, stomp the living shit out of him, and drown him in the Neckar. Meanwhile, I'd be holed up at home with Mom, who would commemorate the event by drinking a bottle of wine and crying herself to sleep. She's cracking a little. Sorry, I'm genuinely thinking about what I should say. I'm thinking I might she might go into more detail if we go a little slightly emotional. I'm sorry, Glory. No child should have to grow up around that. Thanks, Victos. This is difficult for me. Thank you for making it easier. Anyway, aside from the fact that my dad and his buddies were a bunch of murderous assholes, life was pretty normal. I went to school, made friends, hung out with my mom, kid stuff. Then I turned 14 and everything went to shit. Oh, great. Glory pauses, then swallows hard. Ever so slightly, her cheeks flush red. Suddenly, she looks self-conscious, as if she's just snapped out of a trance. As quickly as it came, the flush of emotion disappears. Her voice frosts over. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Yeah. Yeah. You don't need to say anything you don't want to, but if you ever want to talk, you know where to find me. That's not a good thing to push. Thank you for your understanding. Glory stares at you through cold, dead eyes. Now let's get back to the job at hand, shall we? I am highly intrigued by her, though. And I am really liking the dialogue system. Sorry, I wasn't really reading chat there for a few minutes. Yes. Computer. No unread messages. It did say that on the first one, so derp. Old messages is probably, yeah. The jobs directory. Nothing there. Shadowland. I don't think I have any pay data. Nope. Search BBS. Thread. Where to find elves. Oh, this will be good. Is there any elf clubs or bars in the downtown area? I really want to meet one. They're just so beautiful. Maybe we can go dancing. Do elves like dancing? Alex Tusk. There's one on Torstrasse. Bring a bouquet of roses. Elves love a romantic, from Tolstoy. The elf clubs I know of are members only due to creepy groupies, like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Ruby. Alright. Client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. I broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash after I completed the job. I'm sure he'll have changed his name by the time this posting goes up. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes, look to be in his mid-30s. Be careful who you work for out there. Pro shot. Never thought I'd see you admit to a mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll forward any info I come across if you're still looking to collect from the guy. Maelstrom. Sent you some surveillance footage. Is this your man? Oh, Blitz. Interesting. Sure is. Nice one. I'll split the take with you if this lead pans out. Good to find there's still some honor among runners. Claim payment. Pending transactions. 495 million. I can deal with that. I'll need to look at the personnel files again. So let's see if Blitz will say anything about that. Nope. Nothing. Okay. Thought maybe we could pick that up as a side quest. Alright, we need to go talk to her anyway. Since Akka was good enough to remind me that Blitz does have rigging, so... I acquired this drone. Can you get it up and running again? Yeah, probably. Might take a bit of doing, though. I love working on these old corp drones. Can't make you any guarantees, but either way, it's on the house. Awesome! I'll leave it in your hands. I'll start on it right now. See you later. Hang on a second. There was something else I wanted to talk with you about. She glances back up at you. Yes? Go on, then. I'm listening. I'm looking for something that can play back a DVD-RW. Really? That is old tech. Very old, in fact. Just a moment, I'll go look. Turns to rummage through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Ah, yeah, here we are. The dwarf wrestles a mid-sized flat-screen display out of the bin. This display has old enough hookups to connect a DVD player. RCA, you know? Vintage. Player itself, though, this I do not have. You may want to try your luck down at the junkyard. There's a scavenger there, a primitive man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the Kreuzbazar can help you find your DVD player, he can. They'll almost certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. Takes a deep breath and smiles. But you are not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I could give you the display for, say, 200 million. Paul Amsel said to charge it to his account. Ah, very well. I'll have it packaged up and delivered to Herr Amsel straight away. Best of luck finding your DVD reader. I wish you well. Alright, I could go to the junkyard, but you know what? I got the idea from Kami that Altug might not be too happy with me, so let's go talk to Altug. I must know. Altug? The Turk leans into you, keeps his voice low. I have information regarding that matter my people were looking into, Effendim. The one involving the surveillance device on my data tap. Altug, I've been waiting for my coffee for nearly an hour already. Are you growing the beans out back? Coffee vendor shouts. Can't you see that I'm speaking to an honored guest, you tower of quivering corpulence? His voice lowers again. Now then, as I was saying, we were fortunate enough that you happened upon the surveillance tap when you did. The people on the other end were planning a very bad thing, to be sure. Very bad thing. Quite bad, yes. Monica Schaefer was an important member of this community. More than most were aware of. This keys was under her protection. Now, how it is in the Flux Effendim, the governance of a place like this is tenuous at best. You never know who is going to be in charge from one day to the next. But Monica was a stabilizing force, and not just because she was dangerous. She was smart and funny and wise, and she had her way with people. They wanted to support her, to follow her, because they loved her. When she was killed, it left an opening for others. It would have meant bloodshed and pain if this council had been allowed to continue their plan, but they did not. We saw to it, you and I. Are they dead? Do I really want to ask that flat out? No. Indeed we did, Altug. The Kreuzbazar will maintain its stability a while longer thanks to us, my friend. Now what can I get you, Effendi? Would you like some coffee, perhaps? No, just killing time. I'll be going now. I gained karma. I have 1 karma. I am getting nothing. Okay, I have to go to the junkyard, and I'll get the DVD player, and I will probably call it a video there. So we're getting around the 25-minute mark. Shrotty. A stout old man looks up from whatever old tech he's tinkering with to squint at you through thick, old-fashioned glasses. Pushes them up with an oil-stained finger as he straightens up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff but well-meaning tone, heavily accented with German tonality. Guten Tag. What can I do for you? Malit tells me you're the man to speak to about DVDs. That little shrew sent you my way, huh? Smile broadens. The wonders never cease. Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. Shroddy Bilkman at your service. Need something salvaged? Some old components? Violate? I'm indeed your man. Wonderful. How about that DVD player? Well, let's see. I think I've got something that'll work for you. Shroddy rummages through the junk heaped on the table behind him. A second later, he snatches a battered plastic lozenge shape from the pile. Here we go. An old Korean player that I dug up last week. 2010 model. A real beauty. Smile broadens and he gives you a conspiratorial wink. I fixed her up and got her running, but without any discs to read, I've mostly been using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Glances back at the DVD player, a rueful expression on his face. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There are plenty of folks out there who'd really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose, given the time and trouble I took putting her back together, that I'd be willing to part with her for, say, about 500 million? That's ridiculous. I could buy a new Tri-Vid player for that. Yeah, but you've got it one of those. You can get one of those anywhere. You ain't gonna find another one of these anytime soon. But it's not like I get offers to buy these every day, so I'll cut you a deal. How's 350 sound? Have that and you've got yourself a deal. Not over fond of your tone, but it's not every day I even get asked to sell any of my projects. That'll be 175 million, if you please. Here you go. Gingerly picks up the ancient device and presses it into your hands. The plastic is scuffed and warm and rattles a bit when you move it. Give her some good use, okay? Right. I will do that. I will do that in the next video. Ha ha ha. Catch you guys then. Peace.